Hey guys, welcome back. Leanne here from Kingdom Bloggers. So continuing on with our Pinterest discussion, what can I make pins for and how many pins should I be creating? So we've been talking about all the different ways to really boost your organic traffic to your website from Pinterest. Pinterest is being really gracious as of late. A few years ago, not so much, but it's come back full circle. And Pinterest has been very good in sending a lot of organic traffic to my sites. I think right now I'm at about 13,000 monthly visits to my Kingdom site just from Pinterest alone, and a couple of thousand each for my other two websites. So Pinterest is really, people go there to search for everything. So in addition to your blog, excuse me, you want to keep the algorithm happy. Now, we talked before about you shouldn't share a link, you shouldn't share a pin going to the same link more than once in a 24-hour period. I like to do 48 just to be safe. But we want to keep pushing content to Pinterest because the more kind of you're giving Pinterest, the more happy it's going to be. It's like, oh, this is a really active account. I'm going to be nice to it. And it'll show your content a little more often in the algorithm, in the feed, in the home feed, in the search feed, whatever. So what else can you be adding to it? So we're going to hop in here and I'm going to show you how to create additional types of content pins for a specific blog post, but also other types of content with completely different URLs that you can and should be adding into your Pinterest profile. So let's hop over here, share my screen. So of course you have your regular blog post, right? This was a blog post. I think it's Who is Hagar or something. Now, if you have printable items in that post, like say you have some free downloadable study questions or something like that, you should make a separate pin. So this one identifies it as a blog post. It's a character study lesson. Like it's going to give you details, right? Create another pin that simply promotes the printable, because then if you have a printable worded board, right? Like a Bible study printable, free printables, there's all kind of keywords with the word printable in it. So you can see this one right here. So this is more like a blog post. It's indicating it's something I'm going to read. This one is indicating, hey, there's a free printable. These both could go to, well, this is Esther and Hagar, but let's say this one said Hagar on it. They can both lead to the same URL. So these two, you would definitely space those out by at least 24 hours, maybe 48. But those are two ways to get content or to promote the content of a particular blog post. So you can create extra pins. So maybe you only have like 5 boards that a regular blog post might go on, but then you have like 4 or 5 boards with the word printable or printable indicator on it. Now you've got however many more pins you can create. Again, getting more roads leading back to that blog post through different types of marketing of the top. Okay. So what else? So you see this right here. This is a graphic. You could do square graphics. You could do this, the phone screensavers is what I call them. You could put birthday prayers, Bible verses, all kinds of stuff like that on these. These do really well. I'm actually going to show you one of my boards. Go here. So I have a board that's called Bible verse wallpaper. Now I have a blog post on my site. Actually, it's a page, not a post, but it's free Bible verse wallpaper. And I make these things all the time. And so I have a regular pin, right, that says free printable or free download Bible verse wallpaper. So it looks like a blog post pin. So that's one type of pin that I add for this URL. But I also, once or twice a month, just upload one of the graphics. Now, one of my highest performing ones, Daughter of the King. So this one right here. This one's kind of old. It's been out for a while. Back when hashtags were a thing. You can see that here. And 318 pin clicks just to that one. But you can see here, these are very, very popular. People like to save these. So if you have this type of content, don't just make a blog post pin. Take the actual image itself and upload it as a pin directly. This is why I'm all about just give stuff away for free. You will get a lot of traffic because in order to download this, they have to click it. When they click it, it takes them to the blog post, and then that's where the download link is. And I have them for, here's another one that did really well. I mean, I have so many of them. So another one, I mean, these all have done very, very well. So if you like creating this stuff, now again, don't do more than one in 24 hours, but I mean, effectively, I could put maybe 2 or 3 of these a week, schedule them out like the Tailwind, and get more variations of promotion, the picture, leading back to the same content. Especially if you do ones that are tailored to like holidays or seasons. So like, you know, the red love, God loves you, all that for February. Easter related ones, resurrection, things like that. Summer, Christmas, Thanksgiving, thankfulness. Here's one of my He is Risen. That one did pretty good. So definitely create stuff like that. Here's the blog post pin for it. Well, this was one promoting Easter ones, but they all lead back to the same one. So that's what I call a blog post pin. Here's the regular actual item. Another thing that you can make pins for your Bible verse coloring pages. Anyone that has a Bible collection of Bible verse coloring pages on your site, and maybe, you know, you probably don't get organic traffic to it because Google hates everybody right now. You can get a ton of traffic from Pinterest. So of course, here's the blog post pin for it, right? I'll make 4 or 5 of these different ones. It's the same one, just I'll change the background color and then I'll swipe in different of my coloring pages just so they look different. But just like with the wallpapers, upload directly the actual coloring pages, right? So you can see, here's one. This is one of mine. This one has had 156 pin clicks. This one picture resulted in people actually clicking the pin and landing on my website. Again, depending on how many coloring pages, if you don't have a lot, to create some and put a different verse on them or whatever. And then add these, you know, a couple of times a week. In this also, if you have Gumroad products, Etsy products, you can also save those here. Well, that one's no longer available, but some of these I've uploaded from Etsy, but we'll talk about that one in just a minute. Okay, next, Bible reading plans, monthly Bible reading plans. So here's your blog post pin, right? Your standard blog post pin. You definitely want that. You need to put that in the blog post where you have these, or maybe you don't have a blog post. Make one, make a page, even if it's not a blog post, create a page called Monthly Bible Reading Plans. Don't worry about SEO right now. This is strictly being created for Pinterest content, and put all your reading plans in there and let them download them from there and then make pins like this. But also add the actual reading plan, the graphic that you're giving them. So this is my April one. I usually add these in about a week before the end of the month. So the last week of March, I would upload the April one. And I create 2 or 3 versions of this. So I just take it and I duplicate it and put like the flowers in a different place. So it's like different. That way I can add it to my Bible reading plan board, my Bible study for beginners board, and my Bible study board. So I can add it to 3 different boards, but it's 3 different images, all leading back to the same URL. This one alone had 212 clicks. I have other versions of it. Let's see. Here, a blog post pin, just different variations of it, right? But you'll notice if you go in here and do a search for Bible reading plan, mostly what you're going to see are the actual reading plans. So don't negate doing that. Many of you already have all this content. Start pinning it. Get out of the mindset of only blog post pin. Whatever graphics. Printables are a huge search thing in the Pinterest platform. So if you have printables, upload them, right? Even if they're like, I'm giving these only to my subscribers. No, quit that. I mean, are you actually getting subscribers? If not, then make it free. Put the image in there so that they can get it from Pinterest and click on it and land back over on your blog. That's the better way to get an ROI from your time investment of creating it. Okay, next, moving on. I mean, this is for any program. If you have a SOAP Bible study worksheets, let's see. Let's go to worksheets here. Sheet. I know I got worksheet. Oh, there we go. So these are the blog post pins, different ones. This is actually kind of a new board. So I could add an upload of my actual SOAP Bible study worksheets that I have. I'm not sure which board. I do have them already on one of the boards. Maybe on my printables board. So let's see some other things in here somewhere. Bible reading plans. So Adam, next would be Etsy. If you have products listed on Etsy, so this, if you, from your Etsy listing, you can hit, there's a share button for Pinterest. It'll pin the actual Etsy thing. I would actually recommend, I mean, you could do that just in a quick pinch. Like this one here actually had a click. But what I would recommend doing is just make a second set of blog post pins, images that are a little different from your ones for the blog post. Make them slightly different, change the font, change the color, whatever, and upload those. But instead of putting a link to your blog post, put a link to the Etsy product listing. Your Etsy products, do it with your Gumroad products. And here's something I want to show you about Gumroad, because Gumroad allows you to create free stuff, lots of free stuff. Well, you know, last time I checked, people love free stuff. So I am going to show you, let me see if I can find one. That one is going to go to Esther. I have some in here. I just have to find them because I have them for everything. I have them for my blog posts. I have them for Etsy, and I have them for the other one. This one. Yeah. No, that's a blog post one. Anyway, we could go through it. I have so much stuff, but if you go through some of these, you can see that one. That one goes to the website. I have a similar set of graphics just like this one, and they lead to my Gumroad freebies, because this is the free. This one that says totally free. Let me see if I can find that one. Totally free. No, that's a VSP. Anyway, they're in here. I know it. I'm adding so much content to Pinterest, it's probably way far down. So anyway, so make pins for your blog post, make pins for the printables themselves, make pins for your Etsy listings, make pins for your Gumroad, both the free and the paid versions. Again, that's creating more content, especially if you don't have, like the bloggers has probably 500 blog posts. There's a lot. I got plenty of content to just create pins. But if you don't have that much content, but you are creating digital products, this is a way to create additional content that can also drive engagement, drive conversions, whatever it is. Because if they click the link to the freebie on Gumroad, they go to Gumroad, and if you've done it right, you put a link to the blog post in the freebie, then you may get traffic to your blog from that. Other things you can create are pins for, I'm going to undo this here. If you have a YouTube channel, create pins for your YouTube videos. Now, I actually, and embed and put the YouTube URL in there instead of the blog post. Now, on the pin graphic, I like to put video tutorial, video study, Bible study, whatever it is. I did these for my blogging tips, which I'm not really pinning much of that anymore because I'm trying to keep Bible study as a focus on my profile. But those YouTube videos got a lot of clicks because of the Pinterest pin. What else? Basically, anything that you own that is yours, you know, your blog, your YouTube, Etsy, Gumroad, anything else. Oh, here's one that I've done. This one I forgot to tell you. Now, this is what I'm testing out. So if you are on TikTok, once you've published a video, you can go over to the share it. There is a Pinterest share button on TikTok. Now, when you click it, click Pinterest, it'll open up the Pinterest app. You need to also go like swipe back over to TikTok and then grab the copy link, because when it opens up in your phone, the video will be there, but you need to manually insert the URL. It doesn't automatically carry it over. And then just put a title and a short description. This is important. So here it only got 101 impressions. In other words, because Pinterest, doesn't want to send TikTok traffic, right? So they want you to stay on Pinterest, really. But even though it only got 101 impressions, like Pinterest was like, oh, we're just going to show it to a few people. I got 11 clicks to this one video. So 11 people watched my video on TikTok. I don't know if any of them ended up following me there, but it's worth trying to see if people do engage with it. Now, the other thing I'm going to test out is uploading videos directly. Like these are branded TikTok. They have a TikTok URL. But you can do the same thing with your YouTube videos. You could also try just uploading them as a video with no URL, or link it. Like if you have a video that goes with a blog post, and these are social media videos. These are the long form, not long form, the vertical videos, not your full long form videos. But if you do a real, like a short for YouTube that's like 60, or even Facebook, 90-second, you record it on your phone and it's under 90 seconds, share it over to Facebook and share it to YouTube or wherever, but then take that raw video that you created that's on your phone and just manually upload it to Pinterest and add, a little caption or something. So try it, the version of the social media reshare, but also maybe try it just as a direct video upload and see how the algorithm treats it. You never know, right? You could also link that video to the blog post. So anything that you have videos for, add them in here. Make sure you're saving them to the relevant board. So these went to I actually have a board for Bible verses. This went to my Bible verse board. So that one was, what did it say? 11 clicks. This one was 6 clicks. And the last one, I think this one was yesterday, 1 click. So some of them do well, some of them don't. Play around with the caption that you put on it, or the words that you put on the video. And then just kind of go from there. Okay, let me see what other things I hear. Prayers, if you have a board for prayer, in addition to the blog post pin that says 10 prayers to get you, 10 prayers to let go and let God. Let's say that's the blog post title. Some of the prayers you have in that post, just put them on a graphic like this and save them sort of if this is the screensaver size, is like 1920 by 1080 or some 1080 by 1920, something like that. Just write the prayer on here. Now, do your keyword research for prayers, because certain types of prayers, strength, healing, health, those tend to do a lot better than others. But make graphics. Don't just do the blog post version. I'm trying to scroll through here and see what other kinds of pins I have that I haven't mentioned. Just get creative. Oh, here's a question. Should I do short pins or long pins? Do you see here, I have long pins and I have medium pins, and then I have some short pins as well, like short pins. Try them all, right? Anyone who says only long pins do well, they're lying. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry. I've tried them all and I've disproven what many of the teachers are teaching. The teacher I follow, she's really good. So I tend to follow what she says. But yeah, even she makes for her templates that she sells, she has them in both sizes. Just try out different things. Different aesthetics, different colors, different fonts. Don't brand it to where they all look exactly the same. Try out different stuff. Okay, so the other question I wanted to answer in this video is, how many pins should I be creating for each URL? So my rule of thumb, when I first say it's a brand new blog post, which I don't really have many of those anymore, but let's say you've just published a brand new post. Think, what boards should I be adding them to, right? You should already have this planned out when you created your profile. If your thing is Bible study, you should have Bible study lessons, Bible study for beginner, Bible study, blah, 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 blah. Like 5 or 6 boards that have the word Bible study in it. You could also have the additional boards that are related to printables, free Bible study printables, Bible study printables, printable Bible study plans, there's so many. So how many pins you create depends on how many boards you have that this URL belongs on, okay? And so create a template in Canva, one single one. This is my Bible study template. So any content that I create that's going in the Bible study category, I have all these pin designs created, each one in that template line are crafted for the board. So the first pin will just say Bible study. Now it'll have whatever, say, who is Sarah in the Bible study. Short Bible study lesson on Sarah. So that's going to my Bible study lesson board. The next one will be like Sarah in the Bible study for beginners, Bible study plan for beginners. So each one of those in that template are already keyworded for the particular board it's going to. So if I have 10 Bible study boards, I have 10 pin designs, but each design is worded the keyword part for the board it's going on. And then all I have to do is edit the other stuff, the name of the character or the name of the post or whatever. And then change out the graphic, of course. So how many pins you create for a particular blog post depends on how many boards you have to create it for all of that. And then go in, manually pin the first one, and then use the Tailwind scheduler or the native scheduler inside Pinterest to schedule them out. A brand new blog post, I would probably pin those out maybe every 2 days, just to give it a break. I do 2 days just to make sure I don't accidentally get within that 24 hours. I don't ever want to risk spam on my Pinterest because I work so hard on it. And then get them out there. Then later on, like see how well it's doing or whatever, as you're creating, because you want to keep your feed full, like at least 2 to 3 pins a day going out. And so next time around, just make another set of those same pins later on, and then maybe schedule them out over the next couple of months, like maybe 1 or 2 a month go out to the relevant board. And that way they're intermixed with everything else. So that's kind of how I do it. The same applies to your, let's say your Gumroad. Say you have, the free printable Bible study for Sarah. These are literally going to go to the exact same boards. The only difference is these are going to have a different URL. So slight changes to the template, and same thing. All the pins should already be keyworded for Bible study lesson, Bible study plan, Bible study printable, whatever. And then schedule those same ones out as well. But they're going to a different URL. So the same kind of thing applies. So bottom line, how many pins you create is completely dependent upon how many boards that pin belongs on. Create pins for every single one of those boards and get them all scheduled out. And if you do that, and for every new post that you create, you keep that momentum going, you will always have pins going out on Pinterest every single day. Of course, when you first start, you got to create some stuff first. But if you make this your habit, then it's just everything's going to sort of overlap, and there's always going to be pins going out. And if not, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything where I can, go grab one of those printables that you created, just upload that directly and link it to the blog post where that printable is able to be downloaded. It's that simple. So that's all for this video. Let me know if you have any other questions about the types of pins you create and, how many pins and all of that. Drop your comments below, or of course, pop over to my Facebook group, and I will see you guys all in the next lesson. Bye-bye.